ever wonder why the engines that last forever don't? Toyota's 2JZ, Honda's K-Series, and GM's LS1 built legendary reputations for reliability. Now they can handle abuse, rack up hundreds of thousands of miles, and still ask for more. Enthusiasts loved them, mechanics respected them, and yet manufacturers pulled the plug. Now why would any sane car maker retire an engine that just works? I mean, heaven forbid, something actually functions reliably. Wouldn't that be good for business? Well, turns out there's a lot more to the story. In this video, we're digging deep into the hidden reasons why reliable engines keep getting discontinued. Plus, which modern engines still carry that torch of durability today? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why car makers abandon great engines, but you'll know which ones to look for if you want to own a car that lasts forever. Now here's the hard truth no one wants to say out loud. Making an engine that never dies is actually bad for business. Take Toyota's 2JZ for example. This thing could clock 300,000 miles bone stock. I mean, it earned a cult following because it just wouldn't quit. And while that's great for you and me as drivers, from a business standpoint, well, you can see it's a problem. Why? Because dealerships and manufacturers don't just profit from selling cars. You see, they make far more on what comes after. Maintenance, repairs, replacement parts, and eventually repeat sales. If you drive a car for 20 years and it never breaks down, well, that's one less new vehicle they sell, one less trip to the dealership, and one less part ordered. Now, reliability builds brand loyalty, but it also destroys revenue streams. In other words, engines that last forever are great for drivers, but ultimately terrible for the bottom line. Next up, emissions. Governments around the world have been tightening the noose for decades. From stricter fuel economy standards to complex emissions laws, the regulatory pressure is relentless. Now, engines from the 90s, like Toyota's 2JZ or Honda's B-Series, now they were built to last, but they weren't built to be clean. They guzzled fuel, they ran rich, and let's be honest, environmentalists with Greta Thunberg on top weren't exactly cheering from the sidelines. To keep these legendary engines alive today, automakers would need to completely re-engineer them, adding catalytic converters, particulate filters, EGR systems, and a maze of sensors. All of that adds weight, complexity, and cost. And worst of all, it chokes the performance that made these engines legendary in the first place. So instead of retrofitting a 30-year-old design, manufacturers take the easier route. Start fresh. Build a smaller turbo engine, or go hybrid, or even go full-on EV. Now many people will believe it's cleaner. It must be if the government say so, right? Well, it's definitely cheaper. And yeah, a little soulless too. Then there's fuel economy, the other silent assassin. A V8 that sounds like thunder but drinks like a sailor? Yeah, it doesn't stand a chance against today's efficiency targets. Governments demand lower emissions and higher MPG across the board. That means automakers are ditching naturally aspirated V6s and V8s in favor of turbocharged four-cylinders. Now on paper, these new engines are perfect, lighter, cleaner, and more fuel efficient. But they're not built to last. More parts, more heat, more pressure, and often, more problems. These engines are designed to hit numbers on a test cycle, not to go 300,000 miles without breaking a sweat. So while you're saving fuel, you might be spending more time in the shop. It's the price of progress. Or is it? Next up, planned obsolescence. Okay, let's be honest here. Planned obsolescence is a real thing. Designing an engine to last forever, that might win hearts for sure. But from a business standpoint, it slows down the machine. Today's engines are smaller, more complex, and run hotter than ever. High compression, turbocharged, direct injection. Now they may be engineering marvels, but they have less margin for error and often less long-term durability. Why? Because automakers don't want you to keep a car for 20 years. They want you back in the showroom every 6 to 8 years. In the end, it's not just about what's technically possible. It's about what keeps the cash flowing. Today's R&D budgets aren't just chasing indestructible engines anymore. They're chasing software, touchscreens, the driver assists, subscription services. What about the powertrains? Well, they're just one node in a much bigger tech ecosystem now. Mechanical simplicity, the kind that gave us million-mile engines, isn't where the focus is. In today's industry, longevity doesn't sell. Features do. But not all hope is lost. Some automakers still understand the magic of a rock-solid engine. Toyota's 4.0-liter V6 in the Tacoma, Honda's buttery smooth J-Series V6, GM's legendary LS family. These are survivors. Engines that prioritize reliability over gimmicks, that shrug off abuse, that were built to be driven, not babied. Unfortunately, even these icons are slowly fading, downsized, turbocharged, or quietly retired in favor of hybrids and EVs. It's the end of the line for many of the powertrains that earned our trust, and once they're gone, well, they're gone. Now you see, we're not just losing engines, we're losing an era. An era when durability mattered more than software updates, when you could pop the hood and actually understand what you were looking at, when a well-built power plant could outlive its owner and still have miles left to give. Today, everything's faster, sleeker, and more disposable. But those old engines, they were built with soul, purpose, and with pride. Now, if you made it this far, you're one of the real ones. So tell us, what's the one engine you think should never have been retired? Drop it in the comments. Let's give these mechanical legends the respect that they deserve. And if you're like me and love cars built to last, not just to lease, watch this video next. Smash that like button and subscribe for more stories from the golden age of driving. Thanks for watching, and with that, we'll see you in the next one.